Hello everyone, I'm Eszter Vajda. Thanks for joining us and welcome to Hometown Talents and Treasures. Our goal is to introduce you to citizens who in their own unique way contribute to the betterment of society. They could be part of a charitable or faith-based organization, spend a lifetime giving of themselves, or do small acts of kindness. Regardless, they are all hometown heroes. Our first guest is Nancy Kanell of PHAMA. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to have you here. This is such a unique organization where you give people who are just receiving new home items for their homes. Who are your customers?
Our customers come from all different walks of life. There's a lot of people who are leaving homeless shelters. There are people who are getting their very first apartments because they were either in a homeless shelter or in a halfway house. We have a lot of abused women, unfortunately, who come to us. We have some new immigrants to the country. There's so many different reasons why people...
Merrimack Valley area?
The Merrimack Valley, although we do occasionally get people from other locations, and poverty doesn't know any boundaries. So if somebody calls us, we had a couple, maybe a week or so ago from Brockton. We're not going to turn anybody away, but the majority of the people are from the Merrimack Valley.
And we're talking hometown and home items, and
yes.
I brought some things that I would like to contribute. These are beddings, and you told me that things that we take for granted. So I thought, a trash can.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a pretty one,
It
you
is.
know, a trash can and
Yep.
some books.
Yeah, that's
what
great.
other items should people be contributing if they want to?
Well, what I tell people is think about setting up your very first apartment or sending your kids off to college for the first time. The people who come to us for the most part have nothing. So we need to get sheets and towels and blankets and pots and pans, dishes, cups, silverware.
Things we take for granted.
Yes. You know, I think I said to you, one of the things I say to people is open up your kitchen utensil drawer. If you have 3 spatulas, you probably use one all the time, give us the other 2. Or, go into your linen closet. If there's a stack of towels and you never get to the bottom 2 or 3, give us those 2 or 3. Or if you have a single sheet, because the other one ripped, we'll take the single sheet, we'll pair it with another one that looks nice, and then give it to somebody.
How do usually some of these families lose their homes? Natural disasters, you said domestic violence.
Yeah, fires. Right now, the economy, we've seen a huge increase in the last 2 or 3 years of families that were middle class that had to either leave their home or lost their home, and they're starting over again, and they had no way to store their items, so they're in new apartments, but they have nothing. Bed bugs, in Lawrence, that's a huge issue, so we have people who lose the contents of their home to that. So
emotionally incredibly difficult to deal.
It is. It's really hard, and I'm so incredibly proud of our volunteers. Our number one rule is that everybody who walks through the door is treated with dignity and respect. We can really put ourselves in the place. There was a woman, which I don't think any of our volunteers will ever forget. She came in, I'm going to say it was about 3 months ago, and she started crying. She was taking sheets, and she said, "I was you a year ago." Her husband beat her. She had been moved from the south up here to a safe location. So when domestic violent victims are moved up here, nobody knows where they are. Their friends and their family can't know where they are. They need to be safe. And so she said, "I had a beautiful house. I had matching Ralph Lauren comforters, and now I'm getting stuff here for my kids, and I just want something that matches." And I think we identify with most of the people who come in, but to have this woman look at us and say, "I was you."
What did it make you feel like?
It made me feel incredibly lucky, but it also, the empathy I think that we all at that moment felt for this woman, we would have done anything for her.
You sent me some of the thank you letters that you've received over the years, and I just want to read part of one. Dear Nancy, and along the way it says, "I really needed the help you offered me. As you know, I am a single mother of 2 living on unemployment check, which really doesn't cover much. Been out of work for a year and still haven't found a stable job. Receiving this help was a gift from above. I was in a critical situation. My kids were sleeping with me on a full-size bed because everything was damaged by bed bugs. It was a bad situation for my kids and me. Now, after your organization helped me, my kids are sleeping in comfortable beds, thanks to your help." So mostly a lot of people being able to use these things, and even the smallest things make huge difference.
It does. You know, something that you were saying that we take for granted can just turn somebody else's life around. You know, a lot of the young mothers who are working with social workers and, you know, they've had their children early and they're learning skills. If they don't have a bed, if they don't have a dresser, if they don't have pots and pans, they can't set up the structure for their family. They can't eat a healthy meal. They can't, there's no point in washing the clothes if they're going to be on the floor. But if we can give them a dresser, they can go to the laundromat and put them away. It really can change a life.
And something that struck me when we were talking on the phone, that's why part of the reason that I for this trash can, not just an ordinary trash can, but it's, you know, it's kind of a fashionable trash can. And you said that another thing that's really important for these families are pretty things to decorate.
Absolutely. We have what we call the Marshall section, and it has all home decor. It has frames with prints in them. It has vases. It has, you know, beautiful things to put around the house, and we really encourage the women who come in to go and pick out some things that they like, because it makes the house a home, and we want them to be comfortable. We want them to be happy, and it's really great when somebody will come in and let's say they're partial to apples, and we'll have, you know, a napkin holder that has apples on it or something, and they get so excited, and you know, you can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, it feels good.
So how does the organization work? Where are you located? Who comes to you? How does all that, how can people donate?
Sure. We're located at 439 South Union Street in Lawrence. And if they go to our website, which is www.phama.org, it gives all our hours and directions how to get there. And basically the way it's set up, Ozzie Properties donated this warehouse space for us. It's a beautiful warehouse space, and it's sort of set up like a department store. And social workers can bring their clients there. The social workers all do home visits, so they know who's in need. They can also send their clients in with a letter stating their exact needs, and then they go around the warehouse and they gather what they want. If it is furniture that they're looking for, they have a week to pick it up, so we put a hold on it, and they have a week to arrange transportation. And we work with about 50 different social service agencies, hundreds of social workers. You know, we get right now between 100 and 150 families a week going through, and you know, that's the basic process.
You said that you've seen over the past couple of years an increase in need. Are you able to fill that?
No, not even close. I do apply for a lot of grants. I should be doing more. This year I will receive about $20,000 worth of grants for Project Home Again. With that, the majority of the money goes to buying new mattresses. We also buy pots and pans, we buy towels, we buy blankets and sheets when we can afford it, and eating utensils, because those are things that are just not donated in large enough quantities.
So those are things that people watching, if they have pots, pans, sheets are big things.
Absolutely.
Towels.
Yep.
What other
very
items?
basic necessities.
The very basics.
Yeah, the very basic necessities.
So Nancy, someone comes in and you've run out of whatever they need. What do you tell them?
We tell them to try back. What we do is we have a big book, and we keep their letters on file, and they can come back as many times as they want until they get everything that they need. It's hard. It's hard to turn somebody away.
How do you turn someone away?
Just today, I had a woman who wanted a pot to cook rice for her family, and we just had this tiny little thing, and she said, "There's 8 of us," and I felt terrible. You know, and I said, you know, come back next week or the week after, maybe we'll have something. You know, we don't know on any given day. People can, you know, when people make deliveries, when people make donations, they just pull up, they call our phone number, we come unload their car. We never know what we're going to get or when we're going to get it. So,
how did PHAMA get started?
It actually got started, a woman that I knew had been an abused woman, and she moved with her children to an apartment, and the oven was broken. And she didn't have money to get a new oven. And so I had an idea, and I put a little notice in the Temple Bulletin. I'm a member of Temple Emmanuel in Andover. And I asked if anybody was remodeling their home, if they had a stove that we could have. And I got 5 phone calls. One was stove, there was refrigerator, dishwasher, all different things. And for some reason I couldn't say no to anybody, so I gave her the oven, but I found homes for the other things. I thought that was kind of easy, and this is good for the environment. I'm going to do it again. So I put another ad in the bulletin, and that month nobody had any appliances, but people said they had couches and chairs. And I thought, well, somebody must need these. So I made some more phone calls, and I found some more organizations. I was like, that was easy. I'll do it again.
How long
This was in 2003. And so stuff sort of started piling up in my minivan and in the back of my minivan in our garage. And then I was delivering food to Bread and Roses in Lawrence, and somebody said to me, tell Bob, who's the director, Bob Lanzoni, what you do. And I told him, and he said, you know, gee, Nance, I know families who could use that stuff. And sort of this light bulb went off that it wasn't about the environment, it was about people. And I went into a sisterhood meeting at the temple about 3 weeks later, and I said, my garage is full, I can't keep doing this. And a woman who was working at Aussie Properties said, come over on Monday, we'll give you space so you can have a warehouse. And then I went into our rabbi and I said, okay, I have a warehouse. Now my phone is ringing at midnight and people are calling and saying, I have a couch. And my husband and my kids were like, oh, can you think of some organization that might give me a phone and a desk? And he said, why not right here? So
wow.
At that point I figured out I needed to come up with a name, and I came up with Project Home Again, and all the pieces started falling into place.
What a great story.
And the amazing thing is, I say to this woman who really started it, because I don't feel like I did, because of her bravery, because she left an abusive situation, now thousands of families have been helped.
Wow.
And it's really all because of her. So it's a good thing came of a bad thing.
Do families or people ever come back to you after years? Or are there any success stories, tangible, in terms of, now they've got their basics, are they able to move ahead in life?
Absolutely. Social workers, come back with stories all the time. The social workers do take me out on home visits, so I get to see the transformation. I've seen houses before and after we've helped out. But there was just one or two examples. There was a young woman who had a baby, and because we were able to set them up and we got her a computer, she went back to school. She's in good shape now. She has a job. She's supporting her family. There have been people who have actually come back and volunteered. We actually have somebody volunteering right now who we helped out just a few weeks ago. And she was so touched that we helped her out that she has some free time, and she's bilingual, and a lot of the people who come in speak Spanish, so sometimes we have issues. And now she's volunteering on Tuesdays, and it's wonderful to see people.
You said you started this because of the environment?
Yep.
Why do you keep doing it?
Once you see the need that's out there, you cannot turn your back on it. It has grown to be something so much bigger than me. It isn't even why I keep doing it. I have 25 volunteers who show up every week, and it's really, they're the people doing it, and the social workers. We have created this community within Lawrence specifically, but it's really a community of volunteers and social workers, and we all just want to help people in need. And I'm just incredibly proud of the people who work there, and the enthusiasm and how much they go out of their way to help the people. It's really neat.
Again, Nancy, the website is?
It's www.phama.org.
And so the major things that are needed are beddings, towels,
pots and pans, dishes, eating utensils.
Mattresses?
Mattresses we buy for the most part, but dressers or couches,
Okay.
kitchen table and chairs, all that stuff.
All the basics.
Yeah.
Nancy, thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you to all the heroes out there for all that you do. If there's someone or an organization you would like to nominate to be featured on Hometown Talents and Treasures, email me at esternvajda@gmail.com. Remember, it can be anyone. The important thing is that they selflessly donate their talent and time to help others. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.